I'd like to start off by introducing those who are up here with me. My name is Robbie Rummage, R-O-B-B-Y, R-U-M-M-A-G-E. I'm the Chief of Police here at Lexington Police Department. We have Detective Matthew Raffinger, Special Agent Denny with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, the District Attorney Gary Frank. Mary's family, will you introduce yourself?
My name is Lisa Yates, L-I-S-A-Y-A-T-E-S. I'm Mary's sister, the 10th child.
My name is Lori Martin, L-O-R-I-M-A-R-T-I-N. I'm Mary's niece. My mother is Linda, her sister.
My name is Tracy Cleary, T-R-A-C-I-C-L-E-A-R-Y. I'm her daughter.
We have Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Norma with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. So I'd like to open up with this, and that is, what is the purpose of today's press conference? There are several things I want to make sure we understand the purpose. Number one, is Mary's family. To recognize what they've been through for 35 plus years. That's number one. Number two, to illustrate the point that you should never give up, that you should maintain hope. To bring resolution to a crime that this community has been speaking of for over 35 years. To recognize that these findings are a result of not one person, but the contributions of many, countless people that includes many generations of Lexington police officers and investigators. And to also show that collaboration, as we regularly do, is of paramount importance. And that's how you end up having results such as this with collaboration. So some background on how we got here. It's about Mary Davis. Mary was reported missing on May the 30th, 1987. She was last seen down the street here at Lanier Hardware where she worked. On May the 31st, 1987, the gruesome discovery of Mary's body took place behind the old Winn-Dixie, for those of you who are familiar with Lexington, at 802 East Center Street here in the city of Lexington. As with all homicide investigations, this has been opened and assigned to someone for all these years. Most recently been assigned to Corporal Matthew Raffinger. Investigators in 1987 collected a whole bunch of evidence that at the time really didn't serve a lot of purpose. But the wisdom in collecting things as an investigator is the reason why we're able to be here today. That evidence was not viable in assisting in the case until very, very recently. So in reviewing the evidence and knowing how technology has evolved over time, our current investigators resubmitted some physical evidence to the North Carolina State Crime Lab. They provided us some feedback, some findings, and based on that, our investigators reached out to the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation to find out what are the possibilities of us moving forward with this newest finding. So the SBI, in partnerships with Othram Incorporated, undertook the complex process of utilizing the most recent advancements in DNA to provide evidence that led to identifying the offender in the murder of Mary Davis. That evidence was corroborated by information that's being gained throughout the years from other investigators. Lexington Police Department investigators and the SBI presented this information to District Attorney Gary Frank. Based on the evidence presented, Mr. Frank provided an official letter indicated that if alive today, the state would proceed with indictments for the offenses of first-degree murder, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree rape, charging Russell Grant Wood with these crimes. The offender in this case, Russell Grant Wood, was of Lexington and died in 2013. So investigators initially notified Mary's family last Friday of these findings. And just yesterday, we had a debriefing with them to speak about how we came to this point, to answer any questions we could in preparation for going public, because this is a big newsworthy event. I'd like to read a statement from Othram Labs Incorporated, a key partner in all of this, a private entity that works closely with the SDI to help us undertake this. So from Othram Incorporated, in 2022, DNA evidence from the case was sent to Othram Incorporated, and Othram scientists used forensic-grade genome sequencing to develop a comprehensive genealogical profile for the unknown male suspect. Othram built a comprehensive genealogy profile from the remaining DNA extract, and then Othram's in-house genealogical team used the profile to produce investigative leads. Othram then returned investigative leads to investigators. As part of the follow-up investigations, investigators identified the suspect. That's how we got to where we are today. I'd like to turn it over to some members, representatives of Mary's family, to provide you some thoughts.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the family of Mary Davis Mathis, I would like to extend our deepest and sincere appreciation to all of you at the Lexington Police Department for your work and your persistence in finding the person responsible for taking Mary from us. You've done a phenomenal job revisiting the case throughout the last 36 years and ensuring that Mary wasn't just a file on the shelf. Thank you all for caring so deeply and for all of the work that you have done to bring our family this closure. For the last 36 years, we have all wondered what kind of motive someone could have to commit such a heinous act of violence and have been all been left with many questions. Our family never gave up on our search for answers, and we prayed that one day we would find the person who violently murdered our beloved Mary. We now have some answers, and although that won't bring Mary back, it does give us a sense of closure. Mary was a light in the world, and we were blessed to have her as long as we did. She was a loving mother, sister, aunt, wife, and friend, and we know that she is resting peacefully in the arms of our Lord and Savior. Psalm 55:6 says, "Oh, that I had wings like a dove, I would fly away and be at rest." In the Christian faith, the white dove represents peace and unity with God. We would like to invite family and friends to join us for a celebration and memorial on the day that would have been Mary's 65th birthday. We will be releasing white doves this Sunday, February 12th at 2 o'clock at Forest Hill Memorial Park. Our family has requested that if any press does choose to attend, please respect our time together as family and refrain from approaching anyone with questions on that day. And the last thing I want to leave everyone with, Tracy, Mary's daughter, has a poem for her that she'd like to share. To my dear angel in heaven, I just want you to know how much you're in my thoughts and how much I love you so. Though you are in God's hands, or God's care, and that's how it should be, but when I get to heaven, He will give you back to me. Thank you all.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. What a beautiful poem that was. And a nice tribute. At this time, we can entertain some questions. I will say that I understand the interest in the technology of DNA. I'm not qualified to speak to that, just in full disclosure. I know Othram Incorporated provided a statement. Most of those questions, we're going to refer to them, although we're not able to have a representative here today. Yes, ma'am.
Do you know the relation of the offender to the victim?
There's some question of that, but they were not, I don't think they were complete strangers. They were just associates. They were both lived in nearby communities together.
Do you have a date of birth for the subject?
Not on me right now. We could probably follow up with that. Yes.
Was he previously accused of a crime?
Of a crime, any crimes?
Any crimes.
Typically, I would not speak to someone's criminal history because that wouldn't be appropriate. However, I would say now that he is deceased, there was no troubling, actually, let me clarify that, there was no criminal history that we're aware of from before that point and since then. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us what the physical piece of evidence was that y'all submitted to the state to help with this?
I don't want to get into exact details on that. I will say this, that it was items collected of physical evidence from her back in 1987, and it's been in holding ever since to this time now. Yes.
Had he been on anyone's radar, or was this a complete surprise?
Yeah, Mr. Wood, his name did not just fall out recently.
Okay.
We had some information through all these years that we, along with a lot of other information. We've looked at this many different times through many sets of eyes. So when I say that the DNA was corroborated by other evidence, it just all blended together and made perfect sense. So it wasn't just a DNA. DNA was the magic piece that really needed to seal the deal.
So his name had come up in the
Yes.
case? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we may never know this, but are there any leads to a motive?
No. I mean, that would be nothing but conjecture and speculation. I would have no way of knowing that. And that's unfortunate. But there's no change in that, unfortunately.
What led you to submit the evidence at this time?
Because we know that what we've done here, and not to take away what our folks have done, this is something that we commonly do with older cases. We try to look at what's advancing in technology. And to this point, technology hadn't caught up to be able to handle what we had in this particular case. So with any cases, that's the reason why they stay open. You never know what's going to be an advancement. So the idea that a case is cold does not mean it's closed. So that's why we've done it now.
So you just said it's been 5 years, it's been 2 years since we've gone back and looked and submitted this evidence, so we're going to go ahead and do it again, or?
Well, a lot of it's got to do, I said that piece about collaboration, is knowing those who's in the real know, at the North Carolina State Crime Lab, those with the SBI, those who are really in the forefront of knowing what's the newest technology, and having that conversation about, hey, you know what? We've got this, we ought to submit and try it. And sometimes, this is one of those where, the time for it to happen came to be. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Can you just kind of talk about, on a human level, what it's like for y'all to be able to provide closure to the family in this situation?
Very good question, thank you. I can speak for all the officers that's been involved since 1987. And that is, number one, we seek justice on what we do. We seek justice for the family. In this case, it will not be a lengthy prosecution. That's very important to us. We are planning on putting together a debriefing situation for a lot of retirees who were involved in this. Because this is what I know about our officers and officers in this profession. We take these things with us. There's officers that worked here and they retired never knowing who committed this crime, never knowing who committed other crimes, and they're watching. And for them, this is a very important time for them too, and we want to debrief them because it's on a human level. You're talking about a horrendous crime that should never occur, and it's on us to do our job, to investigate, to bring it to a successful conclusion. And when you can't do that, you carry that with you. You carry the frustration with you. And I'm glad to say that we've already let a lot of our retirees know and we'll be setting future meetings with them. Thank you for that. Yes, ma'am.
Have these advancements in DNA technology led to any more closures, the solving of cold cases here recently?
Not for
Other
Lexington
cases?
Police Department, no.
Okay.
But again, remember, never give up hope. We have other cases we want to look at, as is other law enforcement agencies. This is something that's we're evolving. And we know that for every victim, you've got countless members of the family and really the community at large who want answers. So it's we're going to keep advancing and evolving with the technology. wherever that may take us. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
How recently did you guys resubmit that evidence to?
That was mid to late last year. I think it was around summertime, is that right? It was summertime of 2022. One more question. Anybody got any more questions? One more? All right, thank you. I know that Ms. Brittany Lance, our Public Relations Director, has got some, if they haven't handed out already, some press releases with more information. Just if you have any other follow-up questions, I would ask that you go through her. Thank you for your time.